Little review tonight, and my quest for non-denim pants, trousers continues, and it brings us to a new brand, for the channel at least, Two Cats brand, TCB, one of the big brands I'd say coming out of Japan, started in Kojima in 2012 by a gentleman called Hajime Inui. Sorry if I've completely butchered your name. But started in 2012 in Kojima, which is where a lot of the great denim brands hail from. Initially, TCB stood for taking care of business, which I think is a bit of an Elvis phrase, isn't it? Sort of which fits with the sort of 1950s sort of vibe on a lot of their kit. But then thinking about the Levi branding, the two horses that you see pulling the pair of jeans apart on their patch, and also Hajime's love for cats, he came up with Two Cats brand, which I much prefer. I love cats as well. Big fan of cats. So here we are. These are their Baker pants. Now, Baker pants are a very specific type of sort of military sort of focused clothing. Pretty unclear where the name Baker pants comes from. It's sort of a blend of military and utility. It's not what you use in active combat, so they're not sort of cargo pants. They don't have those extra pockets. That you'd be using from training and general sort of utility work, and also possibly where they've sort of aired from, or the names come from, is that they're very similar to the overalls that Bakers would wear. And the thing which sets them apart, we'll look at this in a bit of detail in a minute, is that they've got patch pockets on the front. In some instances, the patch pockets form reinforcement going the whole length of the thigh, but on this model, and most models actually, you've just got a patch pocket there. Some extend a little bit further down just to give reinforcement for that sort of utility wear. Often these come in a herringbone pattern fabric in that sort of military style. Very, very influenced by the 1950s, all the TCB kit is, but these are in a vintage sateen canvas. Really, really nice. They are a fairly relaxed fit, which is something that if you follow my channel, you'll know that I normally go for a fairly fitted cut. And one thing which is quite surprising about these are they're double XL. Which is, I'm very much in the Western world, I'm a medium guy, I'd say, large sometimes, but double XL, you go, double XL, so I'm big in Japan, so it's quite unusual sizing on these. So in terms of the actual measurements, on the waist, they come in at 35 inches on the waist. If you cinch them in, you get that down to 33, so a couple of inches can be saved by using the little cinches on the side. The front rise is fairly high rise, so front rise is around 13 3/4. Rear rise is 16 3/4. On the thigh, you've got a fairly generous 13 3/4, going down to the knee, which is measured 13 inches down from the crotch, at 11 3/4. This inseam, 32 inches, and then going down to a cuff, which is a pretty generous 8 3/4 to 9 inch cuff at the bottom there. Now, as I say, generally I favour a more generous cut, a more fitted cut, a strong taper on the leg. There is a slight taper in these, but really they're wearing pretty straight. They're very relaxed. Definitely need a couple of turn-ups on these to fit nicely at the top of my boots, and I'm maybe thinking about actually taking them into the tailor to have an inch or so taken off the cuff, a little taper from maybe the knee. Let me know what you think. I know straight legs look really good on other people, but I just prefer a little taper on mine. Okay, well, let's go in and look at some close-ups. Just coming in for a few close-ups. Obviously the first thing to see here is this wonderful sateen canvas fabric, probably what you'd call a sort of a medium weight canvas, very lightweight compared to denims these days, but a fairly decently weighted canvas. One of the things which really stood out to me on these is the complete, or almost complete lack of branding. So they didn't come with any hang tags, anything like that. They've got no external branding, no names or words on the buttons or so forth, apart from the TCB stencil on the back there. Pretty cool, very military. As I said, double XL, quite unusual for me. So something to consider with Japanese sizing, I think. Generally, I'm one size up, so I generally consider myself a medium sort of guy. A lot of Japanese brands I'm coming in large, but in this instance, double XL. With that, obviously on the waist, this is coming at about 33 when it's cinched in. I'm wearing these open, just because that's a little bit more comfy. I don't think this will stretch out, but your mileage might vary, so you get an extra inch on either side when you open those out. Down the front here, as we said earlier, we've got those Baker pant pockets, so that extra double thickness pocket sewn on the outside. So there's no pocket bag or anything hanging down on the inside there. It's all external, so a little bit of reinforcing. Sometimes that continues down to the thigh. At the cuff, there's a good opportunity to see sort of the quality of the construction. So you'll see felled stitching on the inside of both seams. Stitching's really nice all the way around these. Felled stitching at pretty much every point. Yeah, so at the back rise or the rear rise, and of course down the seams there. Got these sort of olive buttons. Don't think these are particularly unusual anyway. I don't think they're sort of a particular material like you find on Buzz Ricksons. I think they're simply plastic. Got belt hooks, or belt loops rather, if you choose to use those. The patch pocket extends into the waistband there. Around the back here you've got more patch pockets. Not a design exclusive to Baker pants, but patch pockets on the rear, simple button on both sides. Yeah, fairly simple construction, but very nicely put together. Well, that pretty much brings us to the end of the review. If you've had these Baker pants from TCB, let me know what you think. If you've got any theories about why Baker pants have their names, where that derives from, I'd love to hear it. I don't think there's absolutely a definitive answer. The internet doesn't seem to think so, but I always like a nice theory. Let me know what you think of the cut on these, certainly on me. I'm definitely leaning towards having them tailored and brought in a little bit at the cuff. I know straight legs look really good on other people, but I just prefer a little bit more fitted cut. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, if you haven't seen the channel before, please check it out. We've got a couple of 6-month reviews coming up on my project jeans for this year. So we've got the black Momentaros, and we've got a pair of really nice heavyweight 18-ounce jeans, which were custom made by Companion over in Spain for me. Wearing them really, really nicely. They'll do absolutely anything for you. So these were modelled on my favourite jeans at the time, which were a pair of Onis, which had reached the end of their useful life. So a couple of updates coming on those. Lots of boot reviews, denim, everyday carry, fountain pens, pen knives, that sort of stuff. Please do check it out. You might share some other common interests. If you found this useful, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, see you for the next video. Goodbye.